Warhammer 3. Oh boy. Patch 4.0. The promised rework of 3 races. And was incredibly overshadowed by the Shadows of Change DLC and their pricing. But how good was the patch changes really? So, I've spent the past 3 weeks doing campaigns on Siege, Cathay, and Kislev to determine, are they good better? Are they worse? Let's find out. So first, Cathay. They overhauled the Harmony system to where it's now province-based instead of faction-based. Technologies don't affect it anymore. And what else was done? What else was changed? I don't know. It's province based, and yeah, I think that's it really. I like this change actually. I like dedicating provinces to certain orders. For a lot of them. I went for some of them where I often have military recruitment. I went with the Yang building because it improves recruitment cost reduction, capacity, and increased rank, and that's good along with some research rate. For some of them, you go balance, which gives you minus upkeep and income increase and campaign movement. So, like for empires, like in the middle of my empire, that's good to have it in harmony. For some on the front lines, you put it at Yang, and for some, if you want to build it faster, you can go the Yin route first. Oh yeah, and they allow you to switch it on the fly, so you don't have to deconstruct it. So that's a good change as well, because that helps it. So overall, I do like this Yang system, and it allows the economy to flourish. The Ivory Road is basically untouched. I mean, there was a bug before the patch was released where you could get like tens of thousands, but they fixed it before, and shockingly. But in the early game, it's useful, and the late game, it's not, because I cannot send a caravan through. It will die. It's impossible. The Wujing Compass. I don't know. Well, first of all, you can't even access these ones. That has to be one Chuanbo. But even then, like, the other stuff is the exact same, I think, except, like, no, this one was made worse. This was by region. Like, if you had a 4-settlement province, each settlement would get +1, but now it's just +2, +3, +4 over the whole thing, which is just way worse. This is the same. This is the same. Yeah, Cathay really didn't get that many changes. But I can rate the units, because even though I don't own the DLC, I confederated Xiao Ming, who had them. I don't like the Crowmen. The Jade Lions are fine, and the Drum is whatever. Yeah. Not really that impressive, guys. I mean, the Lions... I get the Crowmen were like the highlight point, and they do have great stats on paper, and they do a decent job. Like they're really good at killing single entity flying units. They are really good at that, but they're just not that good anywhere else. The Lions are decent. I prefer the Jade Line, because in the end, it's like, do you want higher defense or higher attack? Really, it's either way. They're fine. The Drum is what's the name of it? What does Bretonia have? You know, the thing that buffs the peasants? Agrarian Relief, but it's way better than Agrarian Relief, because this bonus, first of all, it provides 8 leadership everywhere, which is alright, but it has this bonus here. This one's terrible, that's like whatever. This one's actually decent. 8 melee attack in 100-meter range. That's actually pretty good. So think about it. All your units get 8 melee attack and 8 leadership if you're in that range. That's actually kind of good. And it counts as a yin and a yang. So it could add in the harmony system. Well, yeah, it acts as both. So add in the harmony system, and it could buff these units. Like, look, if you, like, it gives these guys 8 leadership, 8 melee attack, and acts as the harmony thing, so it boosts up the melee attack, defense, and leadership even more. that's pretty solid. It's not a great unit, but if you're infantry based, it's actually pretty good. Or have a lot of archers, which you should have as Cathay, because they have some good archers. The rest of the roster is whatever. They really should have added another melee unit, like something else. But as it stands, I do like Cathay as a whole. I just like their roster. They have a lot of gunpowder units, artillery, their faction mechanic. I do like the harmony system. The tech, this is the farthest I've ever gotten in the tech tree, and it's thanks to the new harmony system, so I can appreciate that. And overall, I do like it. There are some great techs here. Some of them better than others, obviously. This one's useless. This one's great. Some of them are required. Some of them are not. Choose your own path. Oh yeah, the garrisons. They made one change. Instead of this guy being a Jade warrior, he is now a halberdier warrior. Yeah, I like Cathay, but more had to be done to make it better. There could have been so much more done. So overall, good. It was slightly improved. Now let's move on to the next faction. Next up on the chopping block is Boris Ursus. And unlike Cathay, which I think got some improvements, I feel like Kislev barely got any. Now yes, Boris Ursus is a way harder campaign than Tsarina and Kostaltyn. And honestly, the changes there are so minor as well that it's practically irrelevant. So what did they change? Well, firstly, they changed a little bit of the layout in Kislev, which is whatever. It helps a little bit. But another thing they did was they added a commandment where it would remove all penalties for chaos waste but cost devotion per turn. Now, for Boris, this is perfect. Settlements, you can get devotion pretty easily, and as you hold conquered, if you hold chaotic wasteland, you get more devotion. So it's perfect for Ursus. So what's the problem? Oh, really now? They changed it. Well then, I was gonna say the problem was that the entire province has to be chaotic wasteland, but I guess they changed that. Okay, that's good. That removes one problem. That doesn't fix the other problem, though, as the roster is still doesn't make sense. You only have 2 hero types without the DLC. The Ice Wizards, which are good, and the Patriarchs, which are also good. But there has to be something else. The Hag Witches with... I used to really like Kislev. I think the roster is cool, but it's all just arrows, some bears, some really good infantry, and arrows and arrows and arrows. Oh, one gunpowder unit. There's one mortar. And then there's more arrows and arrows and arrows. Oh, but there's a big bear. There's some cavalry that sucks, and there's one decent one. And more arrows and arrows and arrows. Did you get the point? There's no variation. It's so lackluster. Like, it's just so disappointing because I think Kislev is the most interesting one to me, and I love using ranged units. I prefer range, honestly, but it just sucks. It sucks so much here. Boris Ursus, particularly, his start position is just terrible. Mother Ostankia starting in Nagaron, it makes no sense. It would make perfect sense if she started on the Skull Road, since that was part of Kislev at one point. But no, she's in goddamn Nagaron. Why? Why is she in Nagaron? I don't care about any of the units she has. All I know is the ambushers she has are incredible, and everything else is mid, except the big units, whatever. The point is, Kislev needed a rework pretty badly, and this wasn't it, Chief. It really wasn't. They are still weak as hell in the economy without Kislev, Leningrad, and Prague. They have some of the worst worst economies in the game without them. With them, they're pretty solid, but it takes a long time to build them up. They're one province settlements. The whole motherland system and supporter system is still ass. It still sucks. This part's okay. This part still sucks. I said in a previous video, this part had to be reworked, and they did nothing. Nothing. The ice court system, while good for Catherine makes no sense for Gostalton and even less sense for Ostankia. Ostankia has hag witches. Why can she get ice court witches? And even then, Ostankia can recruit boyards or lords and not hag witches. It just makes no sense. The adamant system is fine, but it's hamstringing you every step of the way. The campaign effect is supposed to help you, and besides this is pointless. This is also pointless. The technology tree needed to be reworked. It sucks as the way it is. It's just the units and the battles they have are great. You can do some crazy battles with them, and I do think the legendary lord, well, 2 of them are pretty good. Well, I don't know about Ostankia. She's broken with the curses and the hexes, but damn it, the campaign effects are falling flat. They needed to rework it, and they failed. So yeah, it got slightly better, but not by much. Anyway, let's move on to the last race. Moving on to the last race that was reworked, Tzeentch. Tzeentch was a tricky one, because I never played Tzeentch until patch 4.4. I tried, and I failed horrendously. And to be honest, I don't even know what was reworked. Okay, well, I know some of the things. I know the ways of win was a little bit. The changing of ways, some things were reworked and added. I have no idea if the tech tree... I think the tech tree was a little bit. So let's go through everything. Let's go through every little bit and piece and determine it. The armies, the units themselves. I like them, but this is the most lacking... No, I can't say it's the most lacking, actually, because they added the Chaos Warriors to help out, and I think that was a great idea to allow you to recruit them. I mean, if the Champions of Chaos could do it, why couldn't they? Why couldn't the Mono guys do it? So it makes sense. With this building, I add the horrors. I wish there was a couple more horrors, because this building right here, while it's a building you want to build, you get Cultists at tier 3, and the Lords of Change at tier 5, which are very good. But there had to be something at tier 4. There had to be a new unit. Maybe there is. I'm not sure, because again, I do not have the DLC. But come on, really? I did not bother. While Chaos Knights are very good, they go against what you should do as Tzeentch, so I never built this building. And this whole system here, it's fine. So let's go through everything on the campaign side first. Technology is a bit mid. It's a bit shit, actually, honestly. Like, it's all over the place. It's all scattered about. While it makes sense you want to go for unlocking all the types of ways of manipulation, it just... And like Prognation, Open Gates, Hauled Army, some of them are good, some of them are not. And some of these technologies are locked behind the Cult of Change building, which is a tier 5 building. It's been 100 turns, and I'm only just about to get it. That's a problem with Tzeentch. The growth in the early game is slow. Late game, it goes great, but early, it is slow. Because what provides growth? The main province capital, harbors, the Weave of Time. Well, no, that's not the... Where's the growth building? This is the growth building. At max, it provides 60. Tzeentch is slow at growth in the early game. They really are. And considering the fact that their start position isn't the safest with Oxyatl to the far west, it's not the best place to be, honestly. I kind of wish they had a different spot. Well, I guess it makes sense for the Chaos faction to be in a Chaos Waste. I don't know. In terms of buildings, I like most of it. The Grimoire system is good. I like it. I like using it to influence the changing of the ways. So, in fact, let's go through all of them. This is a good one. This is a good one. This is okay. I've tried this multiple times. This does not work. This is a good one. This is a good one. This is a good one, but it requires a lot, and it's really... There was a glitch with it where, like, I tried to, like, give myself a settlement, but, like, if I switch off it and, like, try to go back, it would not let me go back. That is... You do not understand how annoying this was, trying to transfer myself settlements, and this kept happening. This is a good one if you're against war with a really powerful opponent, because it can work on you. Now, obviously, the more powerful opponent you're fighting, the more it will cost. So right now, I'm at war with Tlaka. They are really weak. They're down to 2 settlements, only cost 129. If I went to war with Khemri, the third most powerful faction, which settlements all over the place, they would probably be more than 5,000, possibly. Oh, wait. And this is a good one if you want to declare war on someone, but they are in an alliance, so you break the alliance, and then you go to war with them. And this one is completely pointless. This is the most useless one of them all. Well, maybe Force Rebellion, but that's besides the point. So, most of the changing of the ways are good. The Winds of Magic manipulation is kind of broken, because as Tzeentch, I think, you have the ability... First of all, Tzeentch is just really good. With Winds of Magic, you should get them. But I'm 99% sure there's a building here that just increases the chance of it just... I don't know if there is, but there's a... You get really... Is it a technology? I have no idea. But there's a way you can get... Look, your buildings give you more stuff when the Winds of Magic are stronger or higher. Now, obviously, you want Winds of Magic higher, not just for magic, but for your buildings. I think that's a cool idea. The problem is it gets kind of broken towards the late game. It really does. Here, if I go to Winds of Magic, just think it's a technology, that's a good one. You should always get that one. The teleport stance, oh yeah, teleport. That requires you to get a lot of technologies, but once you do get it, it's basically like Dwarf and Skaven Underways. That's very useful. It really is. Yeah, I don't know. The faction, I had fun playing as Tzeentch. They were definitely very fun. But something was off with them. Like, the growth in the beginning was so slow, and all I could recruit was like basic blue, maybe a couple pink cars, some marauders of chaos. And it's just, when you start out the settlements, you're kind of far apart in the chaos ways. It's certainly better, but something's off. Also, the special unit buildings. This one is mid. Actually, that's a good one, actually, because that gives you barrier. And then the other one I have just built. And this one's whatever. It's fine. Special province. You only get 2 special buildings as Tzeentch. That's a problem, I feel like. Because Kislev gets a bunch to get the 3 main settlement provinces. I think that's enough. Oh no, and they get a couple ones in the minor settlements. Cathay, I feel like there are so many special buildings you could build at Cathay. Tzeentch only has 2. And they only started with 1. This one was added in patch 4.0. You have to add more. You need more. That is nowhere near enough. Like, honestly. Maybe you could find, maybe there's another one somewhere. I don't know. But I'm 100 turns in. I mean, the Golden Tower. Okay, here's the one I was talking about. This has the chance of increasing the Winds of Strength. But this is mainly a Lizardman building. I've just taken it for myself. I mean, yeah, I could go and take the Secluded Oasis. Like, there are no Tzeentch. There are only 2 Tzeentch special buildings. I feel like that's the problem. So on the campaign side of things, it's the Grimoires of Change. The Grimoires, Changing of the Ways, Winds of Magic Manipulation, Unholy Manifestations. All of these are good, for the most part. It allows you to be actually kind of diplomatic. And there are some diplomatic factions, mainly all the Chaos factions in Skaven. Those are your best bets. Everyone else hates you. Even the Tomb Kings hate you. They despise me. I'm surprised they haven't declared war on me. Now, for the combat. It's... The way I see Tzeentch, there are 2 ways to look at this. You can either get some, like, Chaos Warriors, which have highly melee defensive armor, to hold the line, while you have pink horrors and your Magic Lord casting down tons of magic. Maybe you have a couple Chaos Knights to flank, which would be really useful because the Warriors are great at holding the line. You could go a whole pink horrors of Tzeentch army where you just like put like 3 or 4 in one row and then like stack them behind. That works out well. Have a couple of flamers. Again, it's all about the magic for Tzeentch, which is a really bad idea to use to focus on a more Chaos Warrior army, which is the other option. There are two Lord types, Chaos Sorcerers and Heralds of Tzeentch. The Chaos Sorcerers are a terrible idea. Well, yes, they're better in melee and they do have some magic. The Heralds of Tzeentch have better magic. They are a little more expensive, but they have a missile attack, and after a long time, a Herald of Tzeentch could become an Exalted Lord of Change, which is an incredibly far more powerful lord. It just is. The Chaos Warrior Lords, I don't think they evolve in any way. They do buff Chaos Warrior units, but they do not give any buffs to... Well, no, they do give buffs to Pink Warrior. Wait. No, they do, but they don't give... They do, but the Exalted Pink Horrors, Lords, the Heralds of Tzeentch, you should focus more on the Tzeentch units than on the Chaos Warrior units, is what I'm trying to say. But I just felt bored. I don't know why. While there was a lot of magic I could use, a lot of spells, there weren't... Because of the slow growth, I couldn't get that many unique units. Like, I'm only now getting to tier 5 after 100 turns. Tier 3 was no problem. Tier 4 took a while, but tier 5, this is my starting province. It's taken this long to get to tier 5. The garrisons or whatever, they're a bit better than Cathay. Kislev is probably the best garrisons out of the 3, but that's because they're all range units anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed my Tzeentch campaign, but one and done is enough for me. I do not have a desire to return to this faction, which is kind of a shame because I think it is fun on the campaign side of things, but the battles are just... Something's missing. Maybe the new units added in by the Changeling do better, but like, what did they add? They added a new melee unit, a really cool, overpowered Vortex Beast, a bird, the duo, the Blue Scribes. I was so mad the Blue Scribes were not part of it. The free, like, come on. I got Ackled Hellbrath. I don't think I even have him yet. Do I have Ackled Hellbrath? I don't even have him. Oh my god. Do I? Hellbrath. So I don't even have the man. Oh yeah, the heroes. 3 heroes. Good. Where can I recruit heroes? Come on. Okay. These guys are alright. These guys are okay. These are the best ones because they have the shrines that can buff. These guys you should recruit as well because you can get the mount that just flies over the enemy and you could just cast tons of spells. The Chaos Warriors, no, there's no point. Just get the horrors, get the pink horrors, the better. So yeah, overall, it's definitely better, but I don't think I've never liked Tzeentch to begin with, so it may be interested in Tzeentch and maybe play it, so I'll give it that. But yeah, I don't know, something's off with it. I do like the pink horrors, so pink horrors are very fun to use. So that's it. We had one race that I liked a bunch more afterwards, one race I really thought lacked in improvements, and one race that got some decent improvements and maybe play for the first time. Patch 4.0 was underwhelming. We all can't deny that. So now the question comes, what do they do for the next big patch? Patch 5.0, when they fix the Empire, the Dwarves, and the Nurgle. Those are races, well, particularly the Empire and the Dwarves, those are like some of the most popular races that everyone is saying need, especially the Dwarves and Nurgle. The Empire needs one, but not as badly as the Dwarves and Nurgle. So please, learn from your mistakes, CA, and make a far better patch. Don't change a couple things. We want an entire rework. Do something like the Beastmen or the Greenskins. You've shown us the ability to do it before, so do it. That's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.